Hi, welcome to the channel Budget Audio Review and Upgrades, and thanks for all my new subscribers and all the comments. I do read the comments, and I got hold of a Sansui AU 2200 amplifier, integrated amplifier, so you can play your vinyl on it, etc. I do look at the comments. Anyone recommends anything, I try and get hold of it. Obviously at the right price, can't pay too much for it. If one comes up, I may have to wait ages until people have bought it and find it price is low enough for me to step in and get it. But I do look, and a few people recommended this, but I was also going to get this myself, to be honest with you. In fact, I ordered two before anyone recommended it, because I was quite intrigued with this particular amplifier because it uses this STK 016 chip, amp on the chip, they call it, amp on a chip. And basically it's got 5 or 6 transistors in it, I think, the main output transistors and the drivers for them. And it's kind of on a chip, and they can stand it upright, so kind of like this. Rather than laying flat, like you normally would probably, and just a little bit less space. They put it in receivers, just takes up less space. A bit easier for companies to kind of save on time designing their own circuits. They've got a circuit already built, and they can kind of design around that. Makes it easier. These are more mass produced. These are made by Sanyo, and just made it easier. Like really, at the end of the day, cheaper, easier, and quicker. That kind of thing. But I've had the Sansui 221, the 331. And they had chips. I also had the Sanyo DCX 2000 receiver, another amp on a chip, all that kind of like low numbered, I think it's STK 14 and 16 they use, something like 15, that kind of thing. So I was quite intrigued to get this. A little bit nervous, I must admit also, I'll tell you, because I had the AU 2900, which I thought was, yeah, it was okay. It was nothing fancy, it was okay, you know what I mean. That was about it. I wasn't like over impressed or anything like that. I didn't think it was fantastic or anything like that. I thought it was okay, mediocre kind of thing. I was a bit disappointed, I suppose, maybe that kind of thing. We mate had the the AU 3900. Admittedly, I only listened to it around there briefly, and he only obviously had one set of speakers. Where I tried all different speakers to kind of get the general overall feel, and I'll kind of averaging out all different speakers how it would sound, kind of thing. In my opinion, of course, this is only my opinion. What I would say, if you bought one of these amplifiers that I said sound fantastic, or speakers I said sound fantastic, or speakers I said I didn't really like, or whatever, and you like them, and your mate comes around and they think, oh, that's great. Well, that's it. That is what it's all about, isn't it? I mean, if you like it, then that's great. You know what I mean? If you kind of bought one and you didn't like it, then obviously you're going to be disappointed. But I think, everyone's different. Everyone likes different tastes and different things, different kind of music, brings out different things, sounds in different items, etc. And if you've got used to that sound and you like it and it fits in with your acoustics of your room, well, that's it. That's what it's all about, So this is, like I say, just my opinion. And I weren't, like I say, over impressed with these 3900. So I was a little bit apprehensive getting this one, but I was kind of relying on them chips maybe to give a different sound to maybe what they did. And I wasn't disappointed, you know what I mean. I was pleased I got it. This is, like I say, third attempt at getting one of these. A couple of them got lost in the post and sent back to the wrong person, etc. Probably do a video. I keep saying I will do on this eBay returns and damaged stuff, etc. But for today, let's have a look at this. Anyway, let's have a little look inside. There it is inside, and there's them two amps on the chips, MSTK 016s. There's not a lot inside really, it's pretty basic, so to speak. There's a few bits in there, don't get me wrong, but it's pretty basic. We'll have a little look at the back. And there's the connections at the back. And while we're here, I might as well look at the front, because you may not be able to see it properly. There's the front. Okay, I'm pitching it up against this Sansui AU 101, which I'm kind of using as a reference kind of amplifier at the moment, I suppose, for these budget amplifiers, this price range, which most of my channel's about at the moment. It may eventually creep up, see how it goes. Okay, variety of music I played. I will come back to one particular track which I did in that other amplifier recently, that duet amplifier, that SA400. Kind of used that track, and I'm going to come back to it here as well. But I found this amplifier, as soon as you turned it on, it didn't really matter what kind of speakers really you put on it. You're going to notice this is quite, and a lot of people do say, a sweet sounding amplifier. They kind of, it kind of got that sweet sound to it. It was nice, detailed. The treble was, the top end, the treble was nice. I listened out for the brushes, stuff, little twinkles, glitter kind of stuff, all shimmering and all that kind of thing going on in the background, different instruments at the top end. All sounded nice, quite detailed, and sounded nice, you know what I mean? There's a pleasure to listen to. The vocals are nice, the vocals were smooth, they were nice, they were detailed, male and female, they sounded really nice. I've got down here, where are we? The vocals are nice. I'll come back. They're open. The old Soundstage was open on this amplifier. I'll come back to that in a minute. You've got plenty of depth here. Guitar sounding nice. The strings plucking. The piano sounding nice. Strings plucking and that all sounding nice. Very nice indeed. I'll come down to the bottom end, and what I'm going to say is it's got a little less bass than this. The bottom end's a little bit, say, lacking, just a little bit less than this. AU 101, the bottom end here, the bass in that, the bottom end sounded better on this Sansui AU 101, that's for sure. Like, it sounded more richer, it just overall sounded nice on the Sansui 101, but I'm not taking anything away from the bass in here, you're still going to be happy with it, don't get me wrong. It's just got a little shift here, it seems to be a little bit more mid-rangey, the focus a little bit more, nothing big at all, but it's a bit more of a mid kind of rangy sounding amplifier. Like, just lacked that bass a little bit, and kind of had a shift up to the mid-range, where this other amplifier, that shift went back down. It wasn't so mid-rangey as the top one. And I want to come to this track now, and I've tried it with a few different speakers. What I would say also, if you've got kind of neutral sounding speakers, then this one's going to be a lot better, I think, because it's got that little bit more bass. It's going to get a little bit more welly, a little bit more bass, a bit more oomph to it. Bass wise, but if you've got like a floor standing speaker, something like that, or speakers that's quite got quite bassy anyway, got a bit of bass to them, this is going to be okay. That speaker having a little bit more bass is going to help this out a little bit. Kind of balance it up a little bit. This is what I'm trying to say. Just something to bear in mind maybe. But this is like I say, a little bit on the mid range, just kind of sounds side. I thought not quite as rich and as detailed. Detail was pretty much on par. This is just a little bit more detailed. It's a little bit more smoother. This as well, a little bit more smoother. But overall, I'm going to come to this track now. This was Dina Carroll and So Close, and this is where I'm going to talk about the spaciness of this amplifier, the depth of this amplifier, the sound stage of this particular amplifier at the top. Is Sansui AU 2200 compared with this bottom one. It's a bigger sound stage. It's got a bigger sound stage than this 101. It's like a really wide sound stage, and it's got plenty of depth. It's got plenty of depth, this sound stage. It really has. I played that So Close. I listened to it. I'm trying to say roughly where I was. I was probably about 3 meters away, centre to the speakers. It was bang on focus. Like the sound was bang on focus. Really nice. Going back to that scenario on the football, you're on the football pitch. You're sitting at the halfway line, and they're kind of like, the music's coming like down from the goal end, so to speak. And with that duet, I was saying that the music sounded flat. They all stayed, everything was seen that was down the other end of the pitch, so to speak. With this Sansui, it was wide and it was spacious. I mean, Dina Carroll was bang. She's come out into the room. She's standing in front of me singing. It sounded like that. Seriously, it sounded like that. And the backing singers, you could physically feel the distance between her and the backing singers. They were behind her. All the instruments are like it's coming out from all over the place, kind of thing, and different aspects of depth as well as width. It was so spacious and nice. You could zone out there. I could have zoned out there listening to that. I was really impressed. The only thing I'd say, it's a little bit mid-rangey. It seemed a little bit more mid-rangey and not as detailed and rich, maybe as this bottom one. The detail one, a lot of detail difference between the two. To be honest, it's more richness down here, more more bass, a bit more weight to the bass, a bit more defined the bass. Just the bass overall was better on this Sansui 101. So it's kind of horses for courses here, I think. If I had to pick a winner, it really depends what you want here. If you want that spaciousness, the person in the room, not saying that she weren't in the room here, she was in the room, but she weren't as far up the pitch as she was here with this Sansui 2200. But overall the sound did sound, the overall sound I think sounded better on this Sansui 101 if I have to go by the sound. But if you want the space and the depth, then this is good. It did sound nice. So like I say, it's horses for courses. If you've got like I say, a set of speakers that are neutral maybe, or bass shy, then maybe this it's going to be that kind of thing. If you've got a little bit more bass on the speakers, this is going to be fine. But it depends what you're looking for here. I think if you're looking for that space, that depth, then this is nice. If you want a bit more of an overall sound, which you still had some space and depth to it, but not as much, but I had an overall better sound, more detail, more richness, more smoother, a little bit more smoother as well than the Sansui 101. So there you go. You know, for what I don't know what these go for on eBay. There's probably not a difference between the price of these two, to be honest with you. So you know, it really depends what you're looking for. But you know, I recommend either one. You know what I mean? Like, so I could listen to that Dina Carroll song all day long with this top one. It just sounded, you know, spaced me out, so to speak. Okay, I'll say thanks for watching. Until the next video, see you all soon.